In this video, we're talking about the 5 reasons to not move to Bremerton, so stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Cassandra Lopez with the Living in Bremerton channel. If you're new to the channel, you're going to want to go ahead and subscribe. This channel is all about living in Bremerton. So whether you are moving here for the first time or maybe you've been a local for a while, be sure to subscribe and tap that little bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video. And you can reach out to me directly. This is my cell phone and my email. So be sure to reach out if there's anything I can do to support your relocation to Bremerton, Washington. Okay, first up on our list, and this is in no particular order, this just happened to come to mind. So number 1 is the weather. So I know I've talked about this in several of my videos, and by the weather, I mean the constant kind of wet, damp, cloudy experience that we have in late fall, winter, and early spring. So it feels like forever. It could last, 6 months or so. And I came from California where, it was really hot, like in April, and it stayed hot until like October. And so we got these really lovely, long, extended summers. Here, our summers are about 2.5 months. We have a running joke with the locals that the summer doesn't start until after the 4th of July. Summers are fabulous. So you have it's hot, it's 80s, sometimes 90s, but it's like really, really wonderful. And it could go like 2 months without raining. It's kind of an anomaly if you think about this area. As far as like rainfall goes, we actually don't get as much rain as you think we do, but it's more of like a constant drizzle versus a torrential downpour, which can kind of make it feel like it rains more than it does. Having lived here for 23 years, I'm still not used to the weather. When the fall time comes and we have daylight savings and all of that, and it gets dark at like 4 p.m., it's kind of a drastic change if you are from any other part of the world where this doesn't happen. I actually have one of those little sun lamps that I turn on in the morning time to like mimic a sunrise to help wake me up because it takes so long for the light to come out sometimes in the wintertime. Reason number 2 why maybe you should think twice about moving here is we have 1 million schools. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but we have like a lot of schools. If you watch my other video on school districts, I talk about how many schools there are in each district. And we have 4, so there's Bainbridge Island, North Kitsap, Central Kitsap, Bainbridge Island, North Kitsap, Central Kitsap, Bremerton, and South Kitsap. So we have 5 school districts, each of which have a number of elementary, middle, and high schools. So pretty much anywhere you go at any time of day, there's going to be a school zone. So if you're not familiar with driving around school zones, here it's 20 miles an hour, and the police force are pretty prevalent in those areas, so you just want to make sure you're watching your speed there. But if you are in a hurry to go somewhere, or if you're traveling during morning commuter hours when middle school, high school, and then elementary school are getting going for the day, you're just going to want to be very mindful of the route you take if you need to avoid school districts because they are everywhere. Reason number 3 why you may second guess your decision to move here to Bremerton is that we're growing really, really fast. And by that, I don't just mean population, I mean housing and new builds as well. So we have a lot of new construction neighborhoods going up all over the county. I have a whole video on new construction neighborhoods that you can check out. And because we're growing at such a rapid rate, our current infrastructure doesn't support that growth, which is going to lead to, more traffic and more this and more that, more stress on our municipalities like water, sewer, stuff like that. So if you are thinking of moving here, that is unavoidable anywhere you go. And so you're just gonna have to keep that in mind. With the population growth, they're gonna have to start redoing the infrastructure, which is gonna cause road construction delays and that sort of thing. So just something to be mindful of. Reason number 4 why you may not want to move to Bremerton is if you are used to having high-end shopping in retail where you are. We don't have a lot of that here. I think the highest end we have is like Macy's or something, or maybe World Market if you consider that high end. So we don't have a lot of those upscale, posh type shopping retail outlets here. So just something to be mindful of, which takes us to number 5 reason why maybe you don't want to move here is we also don't have a lot of upscale and high-end restaurants. We have a couple of chains like Anthony's, stuff like that, which is not super high-end. It's kind of middle of the road, but that's kind of as highest end as we got. There's a small place in Silverdale that's a privately owned joint called Maynard's, which maybe might be on the higher end scale, but as far as that's concerned, there's not a whole lot of dining and or catering and or shopping that is high end. Now, having said that, relating to those last two, we are just a ferry ride away from Seattle, which will have all that stuff. So if you want to take a day trip over to Seattle and check out what they have over there in regards to high-end shopping and high-end dining, then I'm sure you will get your lovely experience there, whereas we don't have a whole lot to offer in the way of that here in Bremerton. Now, I am not a high-end retail shopping or restaurant type person. I love my little mom and pop shops. One of my favorite places to eat in Silverdale is Spiro's. It's this little family-owned joint owned by Jeff and Stephanie, and they're great people, and it's great food. It's one of my favorite places to go ever, and it's nowhere near high-end. It's like beautiful, like middle of the road, classy, but also fun and not too stuffy, but just really, really great food. One of my favorite places ever. So if you ever have a chance to eat there or go there, highly recommend it. 5 stars. They did not know I was doing this plug for them, so I'm not getting any royalties for that whatsoever. But if you want to know some other local joints around here, as far as restaurants, as far as shopping, as far as mom and pop places or artisan places, I'm happy to help guide you in that direction. So if you like that video, give me a thumbs up, tap that little bell so you're notified every time I drop a new one. And be sure to reach out to me if there's anything I can do to support your relocation to Bremerton, Washington, and share this with a friend if you think they might benefit. Bye for now.